Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, we got the G11P and the tiny little FS-R4D, and this is a receiver and light controller all in one. So, let's bring you through, give you a close-up look and show you how you set this thing up. So, we want to get this connected. First thing we're going to want to do is select a model memory for it. Now if we do this, you can then go in and name it. I've got this one already named to R4D, which is what this is. If we then come out and go into our RX menu, we're going to want to set as failsafe. I've got this set to no output. Then you want the bind mode. So for this, I'm just going to break the bind. I'm going to set it to two-way, which is incorrect.
Binding failed.
And that'll clear it, so I can show you how to bind it up. So we want to set it to one-way bind. You want routine. Servo wise, I'm going to set this to digital because I know my servo will work with that. If you're not sure, you can always set them to analog. So basically, let's show you what happens with this receiver once we power it up. So you can use this with an ESC. I'm just using it with a LiPo battery. But if we plug this in, you can see it enters bind mode. It's flashing quickly. So once it enters this fast flashing mode, if we just select bind, you'll see it slows down. Back out, it goes solid. That means it's bound up completely. If we disconnect the power now and put it back, you can see it instantly connects back up. The only thing you've got to be aware of is if you power up your RC first, which I would never advise with an RC, always power up the transmitter first and have it on the correct model memory. But if we put this on now, you'll see it'll automatically go into bind mode. If somebody else is trying to bind with their transmitter, it will bind to it. That's why I always say, when you turn it on, always transmitter first, have it set on the correct model, plug it in, and as soon as you've got power, it's solid light, it's bound. So as we've got it set up as stock, on channel 1 you've got steering, on channel 2 you've got your throttle, you've also got channel 3 and 4 that you can use, and if you wanted to assign something to them, we can just go into menu, go to auxiliary, channel 3, go to whatever we want to control it. So if we want a K button, K1, so you can either have it so it'll turn as you press it, or you can have a trigger so it'll press when you hold it. But we can plug that in to channel 3, and now you should be able to see that channel will respond when we press it. Exactly the same if you want to go into channel 4, you can do the same on that, or maybe you want it as a variable. So we can go for VR1, and then if we back out and look at the channels, I want to remember where VR1 is. So if we spin that, you can see the servo reacts to whatever you've got on that channel. And again, you can do the same for channel 4. There is a light output on this, but I'll show you that in a separate video because this is long enough to start with. One thing I will show you, if you turn off the transmitter,
Shutting down.
because we've got failsafe to no output, it doesn't start flickering around or anything. And then if the transmitter regains power, or your RC regains your signal, you see all connected back up, and that's because we've got the fail-safes. You can set servos and channels to a certain percentage if you want on the fail-safe, but it really depends what you're doing. One other thing is, if we turn this off,
Shutting down.
I would always advise turn off the car before the transmitter, but just to show you, if you turn this on, it will enter bind mode. So if somebody else has got their ANT protocol transmitter in bind mode, it would allow it to bind to your RC. but if you turn on your transmitter that's already bound, it will connect back up to it. It just leaves that first few seconds where it's looking for a bind because it didn't see its transmitter. Whereas if we power it up when the transmitter's on, instantly bound to the transmitter. So I would always power on the RC last and power off the RC first. And then you should be safe. You're not going to accidentally bind it to a different transmitter. But yeah, I do like the fact they'll auto enter bind mode. It saves you getting inside the RC and pressing buttons or putting bind pins in. You've just got to remember, every time you turn this on, if it doesn't see its transmitter, it will enter bind mode. Only does it for so many seconds, and then it just goes into waiting for one that's already bound to it. But yeah, just a useful feature to know about. It does have the lighting output, but I'll cover that in another video because this has been long enough. But yeah, that is the G11P and the FS-R4D. Not to be confused with the R4D ESC, which I've also done a video on. These numbers are getting a bit confusing. But this is the R4D with the, it's just a micro sort of receiver. Does have full-size servo plugs on and full-size dual pins for the lighting kit. But yeah, nice little AMP protocol receiver with lighting kit. Good for little rock crawlers and that, I should think. Or plenty of little RCs. So let's wrap this one up. So there you have it, the FS-R4D and the Flysky G11P transmitter. How to bind it up, how to set your channels with your auxiliaries. And as I say, I will do another video on the lighting controls and show you what they do. Because this video has been long enough really for a little receiver video as it is. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. Hopefully you found that useful, entertaining, or a bit of both. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.